Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Coming up this week on the 17th on Wednesday, we're going to see our next major update drop for Warzone and Modern Warfare 3, known as the Season 1 Reloaded update or the mid-season update for Season 1. And this in and of itself is going to be a significant update. We've got gameplay changes coming. We've got new features dropping, bug fixes, meta updates, everything like that. And today, we actually already have a bunch of confirmed updates and guaranteed updates for Season 1 Reloaded in terms of what's going to be showing up in the patch notes on Wednesday. So early patch notes in a sense here in regards to major changes, some minor changes, content, everything in between. So as we get into it, if you enjoy the video, do me a favor, drop a like. Really much love to everyone who does take the time to do so. It does help the channel grow. And if you're new here or you simply haven't subscribed yet, feel free to change that every single day. I got you covered with all things you need to know about COD. So hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications to stay up to date. Now, initially, when it comes to Season 1 Reloaded, yes, this is a major update. So this is going to require a full download for everyone. This is going to be a full-on title update. I believe it's going to be the 1.37 update, 1.37 or 1.38. So regardless of if you're on Battle.net or Steam or Xbox or PlayStation, there will be a larger download required for this before you can play and access any of the content here. And of course, after you spend all that time downloading the physical update, you're going to get hit with update requires restart, because why not, right? But do be expecting that Wednesday morning there will be a large download required for this update. Now, the Trello boards recently have been updated quite a bit in terms of the Warzone stuff, and then also the multiplayer and zombie stuff with some of the upcoming patch notes for Season 1 Reloaded. So we're getting an early look at them here. Some of these things are guaranteed. The fix is already scheduled. Other things have been under investigation for some time, and usually the major updates like the Reloaded updates or the seasonal launch updates are where a lot of the investigations are then solved and tackled and actually pushed live in the patch notes. So initially a couple of global issues here. They are still aware that certain camos are still appearing brighter than intended. The Gulag camo, the Royalty Tiger camo, in certain skyboxes they glow too bright. This should be fixed at some point here soon, but that's still under investigation. A couple of big guaranteed fixes though. The no stock attachment on the XRK Stalker sniper rifle, it's currently bugged. You cannot unlock that. A fix is scheduled for this that'll appear in the patch notes for the global updates on Wednesday. So we'll finally be able to access that. And I imagine some of the other bugged attachments as well. They're well aware that certain guns have barrels that are not accessible or compensators that are not accessible. We should see several updates to make those actually accessible and unlockable through either an extra level or a certain challenge or something like that. Maybe through the armory. We're gonna have to wait and see. Also, the event tab UI not showing up on the menu. So many of you comment every day saying, Zach, I can't see my event tab. What's going on with this? You got any updates on this? The fix is finally scheduled. Season 1 Reloaded should have this update in it, and we'll finally be able to fully see the event tabs back on the main menu. Keep in mind, while the event tab has been missing for thousands and thousands of players, all the content was still tracking, so you could still do all the challenges. You just couldn't track your progress, which is obviously super frustrating. So great news that that's going to be fixed here as well. They are still investigating the FOV bug in multiplayer. I see a lot of you commenting about this still. No guaranteed fix for this, but it's been under investigation since launch. I'm having a hard time believing it's still not going to be updated with Season 1, so I'll be keeping my eyes out for that. But a couple of other guaranteed patch notes and fixes for Season 1 Reloaded. The priceless camo challenge not working on the Stormender. If you're trying to go through and max out that, you haven't been able to progress that whatsoever. That's guaranteed to be getting fixed here. Then also the firing range dummy health. It's been inaccurate for some time. The cat doesn't actually one-shot in the firing range, even though it does in-game. Some base snipers that can't one-shot without the explosive ammo will one-shot in the firing range, and it's just baiting you into thinking something's going to work different in-game than it does in the firing range. Huge problem, a lot of misinformation there, so the health is going to be fully fixed, which is definitely great news for that. As far as zombies updates go, the only guaranteed patch note and fix that we have here is for the heads-up display visual effects stacking when you use akimbo weapons. It's just not supposed to have all those UI issues there, so a minor fix there. But obviously, zombies is going to have its own significant patch notes when the update is out, and we'll be covering those, of course. And then for Warzone within the Battle Royale tab, we've got several under investigation issues here, but Raven doesn't really mark things as fixed scheduled, so we should be seeing a lot of these end up in the patch notes on Wednesday. Initially, most recently, they discovered that melees sometimes are doing more damage than intended, so you can two-hit melee players in situations where you shouldn't be able to. They are going to have some nerfs for that out. The Warmageddon vehicle skin is currently not properly displaying in game, so that should be updated. Armor plate consistency when you're equipping it, where it continues to put on the full plate, has been a bug for some time. They are aware of that. There's also an issue with the squad HUD, where it seems like your teammates disappear, whether they're in your squad or they're squad fill players. They disappear and it doesn't look like you have a full squad. Big issue there in terms of communication. They're looking into that as well. There's also a kicked for inactivity bug where you could not be AFK. You could be running around sniping, calling in streaks, and it still kicks you for inactivity. They're aware of that. That'll be updated here. Going back to armor plates, there's issues where if you are plating up with a self-revive and get knocked while you're putting the plates on, you infinitely put plates on and you can't do anything about it. It's a big game-breaking problem and super annoying when you run into that situation. So nice to see they're also going to be updating that as well. The automatic resupply with tactical slots is not currently functioning as intended. Then also redeploy notifications. You're supposed to get, there's an enemy in your AO whenever someone's dropping on you. It just doesn't play half the time. So they are going to be updating that soon as well. So all around, some pretty positive gameplay updates and some sneak peeks as to what'll be changing with those patch notes on Wednesday. But outside of just these straight up patch notes, which obviously will be including, weapon updates, buffs, and nerfs for multiplayer and Warzone, we're going to see several other feature updates and content updates as well with Season 1 Reloaded. And we've seen several of these revealed over the past few days. Initially in Warzone for these, we were supposed to have the debut of two first of their kind updates in a sense with the covert exfil and the weapons case. However, if you caught my video the other day, you probably saw that the covert exfil and the weapons case have been canceled for standard battle royale and instead delayed for their own specific mode that's going to be coming later on down the road. I would imagine it still probably debuts at some point within Season 1 Reloaded between the launch of the update and the end of Season 1 in early February, but yeah, we were gonna have covert exfil within battle royale. There was a lot of feedback saying, I don't know if that's really a great idea. There was a lot of concern about its impact on the pacing of gameplay. So we're even just decided, hey, you know what? We've heard your feedback. We're going to cancel it for standard battle royale gameplay. We're gonna turn it into its own dedicated mode, and we'll drop that at some point in the future. So while those updates were initially planned for Season 1 Reloaded, they are now further down the road. Bit of a bummer there. I was excited to see what was going to happen with the gameplay pacing and changes with those being introduced, but totally understandable that they want to try it out in its own mode first, and I'm curious to see how that's going to play. The Gulag's also going to see a slight update with Season 1 Reloaded now. In addition to things like the Go Again event or the Cash Drop event or the Fully Loaded event, there's going to be an NVG event. So it's going to be the Gulag with the lights completely shut off, and you'll have night vision goggles equipped, so you'll be able to canted laser ADS on opponents there, and it'll change up the gameplay style for that. But it's just an event. It's not going to be every single Gulag or anything like that. It'll happen randomly just like the other events currently do. We're also going to see an actual on-menu event, a new LTM with Season 1 Reloaded, themed around, once again, the boys. Obviously, back during Warzone 2 and MW2, we had a boys event, and now we're getting the boys returning here with a couple of new operators. It's going to be Firecracker and A-Train this time. And there's going to be a brand new LTM where it's going to be similar to Warzone. It's just kill confirmed in multiplayer, and instead of dropping tags, they drop the Temp V vials, and if you pick up one of those, then you get the superpowers like heat vision or the super jump or whatever. Then there's going to be an on-menu event associated with that as well, where if you complete a handful of specific challenges, all very basic ones, things like getting a heat vision elimination in the LTM or destroying 20 pieces of equipment, you do all of those, you're going to get a brand new blueprint themed around the boys as well. So we'll have that to look forward to, and that'll actually replace the Vortex event, which is currently going on in game, obviously. And then lastly, shifting back to Warzone, we are going to see a new Nuke or Champions Quest update go live as well, which introduces a new Champions Quest skin you can potentially unlock, alongside a new ability to steal the nuke if someone in game is doing a nuke contract, which you can still get by winning 5 games in a row, or by winning 30 total games in a season. If you take out that team that's doing the nuke quest, you then get a chance to steal it and do the nuke quest for yourself. And if you complete it, congrats, you win. If you die, then it's just done for the match. But for one, you're going to see more Champions Quests live in game because of that 30 win threshold per season to activate it, and 2, it's going to be even more chaotic because you can steal it. So that'll be fun to experience pretty often, I'd imagine, now within Warzone gameplay. Obviously, these are just some of the previews for the early patch notes and gameplay changes coming with Season 1 Reloaded. The full patch notes on Wednesday, which I'm going to be covering right as they drop, are going to include even more details and even more changes, so we'll have to keep our eyes out for those. If you want to stay up to date with that stuff alongside everything else going on in COD though, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. And if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, drop a like on it on your way out. It would be much appreciated. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.